You're live, Tara? You're live?
Welcome everyone. Welcome to our hearts and to our sanctuary this morning. And welcome to 2022. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So let us just take a breath and center ourselves and join me in this opening affirmative prayer. So we recognize the one power, the one presence, which is God. And we know that this power, this presence, expresses itself as each and every one of us this morning. So in this awareness, we just allow ourselves to be clear and open channels for the expression of Spirit. And I know our speaker this morning, Rev John, allows himself to be a clear and open channel for the full expression of this one this morning. So I know that this experience, which we call a Sunday morning service, is an enriching, uplifting, inspiring, and consciousness expanding experience this morning. And for this, we are truly, truly thankful. And I release these words, knowing that all this is so, and so it is. This morning, our inspirational reading will be by Michaela Richardson. So Michaela.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Michaela.
The Gate of the Year by Minnie Louise Haskins. And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, "Give me a light that I may tread safely into the unknown." And he replied, "Go out into the darkness and put your hand in the hand of God. That shall be to you better than light and safer than a known way." So I went forth, and finding the hand of God, trod gladly into the night. And he led me towards the hills and the breaking of day in the lone east.
And so it is. And we now have our praise song, which is God Working in My Life. And it will be led by Steve Golden from all the way in Florida. And we are going to join in with the singing. So our praise song, please stand for our praise song.
The stories are so glorious, all cannot be told. I know that of myself, it may not do a thing. It's the Spirit working in me that make me dance and sing. Working in me that make me dance and sing. Ba him good can't done. And when the Spirit hold you, jump up and wheel and turn. My life is a wonder to behold. The stories are so glorious, all cannot be told. I know that of myself, me not do a thing. It's the Spirit working in me that make me dance and sing. Ribbidi-bidi-ba-bam-ba-day, ribbidi-bidi-ba-bam-ba-bam. Ribbidi-bidi-ba-bam-ba-day, ba-ba-bam-bam-bam. Ribbidi-bidi-ba-bam-ba-day, ribbidi-bidi-ba-bam-ba-bam. Ribbidi-bidi-ba-bam-ba-day, ba-ba-bam-bam-bam.
Okay, just remain standing for the prayer of our center. So join me. The prayer of our center, it's in an insert in your program and on the screen for those joining us online. The prayer of our center. The Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community, from which the cries of peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God, and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. Right, you can be seated. I will now light youth camp. I light this candle on behalf of the youth of the world. Let us behold the Christ in them as we say the blessing for the youth. We love you. We appreciate you. We see the Christ in you. We see you as shining lights unto your word. God is blessing you now, and so it is. We now have our mission song.
Prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
Yay! And now it's time for our announcements. Do we have any first-time guests worshiping with us on this glorious first Sunday of January 2022? Whether you're in the sanctuary or online, we welcome you to our hearts and to our beautiful Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. We trust you will come again and again to share your consciousness with us. If there are anyone in the sanctuary for the first time, you could just stand and let us recognize you. No. Okay. Live streaming. We continue to live stream every Sunday at 9 a.m. and on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. The recording is available later on YouTube. On Monday mornings, Wednesday mornings, and Friday mornings at 6 a.m. You can join our pastor, Rev John Scott, for a refreshing and insightful early morning start to your day, for quiet moments in his garden and in the garden of our consciousness. Spiritual enrichment service is on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. on Facebook and Zoom. This week, our presenter will be Reverend Ann Shand, and the link will be sent out on our mailing list. Our spiritual goal-setting workshop is tomorrow at 6 p.m. And you can join us in the sanctuary or online as we prayerfully set our intention to make all things new in 2022. The link is also sent out from our mailing list. Spiritual Prosperity Adventure. I know you're all looking forward to this. So our Spiritual Prosperity Adventure begins on Wednesday, January 12th. And here is Sandra Cooper to tell us more about it. Sandra?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
If you look in your programs, you will see a little flyer which gives some more details about our 12-week spiritual prosperity adventure. Now, some of you might be asking, now, why should I pay all this money to do this program? And there's so much going online for free. One of the things is, for me, and I'm just speaking for myself, I have learned that when I give, it comes back to me in multiple ways. So part of it is the giving. This other part of it is, what am I giving for? In this case, the proceeds are going to be to support our youth ministry in providing devices and internet connectivity for our Sunday school. So that's a wonderful cause to which to contribute. So it's next week, Wednesday. We start next week, Wednesday. And it's a wonderful hybrid of understanding prosperity from the inside out, understanding the type of consciousness that allows us to give and to tithe freely, and that plants the seeds for our own prosperity. The other part is that we're going to be having a number of speakers who will be advising with regards to financial investment, understanding the energy around debt, and how debt can really, really weigh us down. How do we move away from that energy? So it's 12 weeks of powerful, practical, engaging activity. And we really invite you to be very intentional for the beginning of this year, to choose powerfully to do this program. We had an early bird which ended on July 31st.
No, December.
I just wanted to make sure you were present. December 31st. And of course, if you really are going to choose to do this program, you can pay online or just bring your check into the office. We will be very happy to accept. Or speak to me after the service if you have any questions as to what or why. Thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you all on the 12th of January, next week, Wednesday. Thank you.
We have our round of applause.
And remember that this program is a full workshop, not like those that you see online that are free, which are really just promotional events for the books and other workshops. This is the real thing. So prayer support. We continue to respond with prayer to the challenges of this special time. A practitioner is available to pray with you immediately following our service every Sunday. On duty this Sunday is practitioner Courtney Johnson, and the number to call is 876-289-0907. You can also speak with a minister from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight by calling 876-289-0907. Donations, tithes, and offerings. If you feel moved to support our ministry, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org, which has our banking details. Thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light in the world. This concludes the announcements. Kindly join me in singing our first hymn, one that I truly love, I Will. The words are in your program if you are in the sanctuary or online, or on the screen if you are online. And if you are in the sanctuary, please stand.
I will start anew this morning with a higher, fairer creed. I will cease to stand complaining of my ruthless neighbor's greed. I will cease to sit repining while my duties call its care. I will waste no more time whining, and my heart shall know no fear. I will look sometimes about me for the things that merit praise. I will search for hidden beauties that elude the grumbler's gaze. I will try to find contentment in the path that I must tread. I will cease to have resentment when another moves ahead. I will not peace with my enemy when my rival's strength is shown. I will not deny his merit, but I'll strive to prove my own. I will try to see the beauty spread before me, rain or shine. I will cease to preach your duty and be more concerned with mine.
You may be seated. It is said that a good shepherd always leads his flock into green pastures. And our pastor has been a very, very good shepherd. And to bring his message this morning, his encouragement, as he called it, I now ask our pastor, Rev John Scott, to speak to us this morning.
Oh, thank you, Vance. That's wonderful. Good morning, worldwide spiritual family. Happy New Year. Happy New You. Happy New Now. Because that is the only time we really have. Let us be happy and celebrate in the now. So can I hear you just say, Happy New Now?
Happy New Now.
Say with me, behold, I make all things new in 2022. Together. Behold, I make all things new in 2022. And then I like to take the energy, so let's say it in a half voice. Behold, I make all things new in 2022. And in a whisper, behold, I make all things new in 2022. And now say it in your heart. Wonderful. You feel the shifting energy as you go from loud into just going within. And here's another one for you. I am a new awareness of me having a new now in a new year. Let me say it again. I am a new awareness of me having a new now in a new year. Together. I am a new awareness of me having a new now in a new year. And wow, I just think it's amazing. With the turn of the calendar, you go from December 31st in 1 year. Ta-da! It's a brand new year. And stretch before you 12 months of adventure. 12 months that just are waiting for you to write a new script. To place in the universe your declaration of what you expect, deserve, and desire in a new year. And so that promise in Revelation 21, verse 5, really echoes through the centuries to me. Behold, I make all things new. All things. Even the good things need to be renewed and revamped and reloved and redesigned and reshaped, remodeled, so that they fit the new paradigm. And so when we sang this morning, I shall start anew this morning with a higher, fairer creed, that is our divine Dharma. We need to start anew in each new now to create that which we want to see in a world that truly deserves better than we have had today. Don't you believe? And you know, friends, there is much of our lives that will continue without interruption during this new year. Because many of us have fixed patterns of behavior and beliefs and paradigms. I thought about it myself when I was writing this. I drive the same way to church and to work every single day. Now, there are several routes I could take, but I'm a creature of habit. Try a new route now. Just to see a different view. To get there, the destination is the same, but you want to get there in a different kind of way. And so one of the things I want you to try is, try doing some things new. You know, we are creatures of habit. Did you know that you put on your trousers, those of you that wear trousers, with the same foot every day? Every time you're stepping into your trousers, you put the same leg in. Tomorrow morning, try the other leg. You can't balance, you can't stand up. Because we are creatures of habit. Look around and you will notice that people sit in the same seat on a Sunday. Nothing is wrong with that. But we have habits that are deeply ingrained. And one of the things I want us to do in this new year is to start taking some new routes to get where we want to go. Just to experience the newness. If you walk in the morning, take a different route. If you're driving to work, drive a different route. For friends, when you do, you find that we are all greater than we think we are, and that we are capable of taking many different paths to arrive at our destination. And this year, my friends, we are called to be new in the now, in this moment. If we can start anew this moment with a higher, fairer creed, a creed that says that I am here to help to create a world that really works for everyone. Well, the world works for everyone already, you know, because it works at our level of consciousness. If we believe the world is
a rough place and it's hard to live in. That's our experience. So the world works for us according to our belief. So when we say we want to help create a world that works for everyone, what we really are saying is that we want to create a consciousness in people, to help people to create a consciousness of the better that is theirs by divine right of being. Because we are greater than we think we are. And we need to wake up to a new understanding of the majesty of our being and the glory of our spiritual magnificence. Too many people are walking around feeling not enough. And boy, if you knew where I came from, you would understand. I'm sure you don't know, yeah? But things rough. Can we change that mental set? Can we as a spiritual community help to model a new behavior which says to people, you are worthy, you are valid, valuable, and authentic as a member of the human race. And we have a welcome for you in a place called the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living, where you will find the teaching of truth undisturbed by dogma and shoulds and shouldas and woulds and woulders. You will find an acceptance at this place called the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living, where you can explore new pathways up the mountain to your relationship with God. And my friends, I want you to know that the central spiritual fact of your life, just know this with me today, that the central spiritual fact of your life is your relationship to God. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. I don't care what other plans you have. The central issue is how you relate to the infinite invisible, that thing, that essence, that presence, that power, that energy that spake you into being, that said, let there be you. And you came forth as a creation of something that is amazing in its power, in its majesty, in its might, its ability to walk you through every experience in the landscape of your life this year. A friend of mine has taken up landscape gardening and looking after gardens. And every garden is different. Some people have pots of flowering stuff. Some people have green thumbs. My friend Carmen Clark, she can grow anything. I think she grows stones into it's just amazing. For me, I can grow things, but orchids don't do well for me. So, the landscape of our life calls for us to do some gardening. It calls for us to put perhaps some new potting soil down this new year, to replenish the topsoil, to do some new planting. And my question for you on this second day of January 2022 is, what is your relationship with God? How is your relationship with God? Is your relationship to God important and real in your life? Is it dear to you? Is it something precious? You have friends and their friendship is just beyond measure, beyond treasure. It's precious. Do you have that same feeling about your walk with God? Because, my friends, if you can answer those questions, you will know that they carry tremendous power to landscape your life this year and to create experiences that are abloom with the glory of Almighty God in your life and in your affairs. This morning, Michaela from our youth group read the poem titled The Gate of the Year, which tradition says so appealed to King George VI of England that his daughter, the then Princess Elizabeth, now Her Majesty the Queen of England, she had it inscribed on the gates of his tomb. I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, give me a light that I may safely tread into the unknown. We all want that light, don't we? We want to know where we are going. And the psalmist says, your word is a lamp unto my feet. Do you know that in ancient times, they actually strapped a little lamp, a little oil lamp to their ankle, so that all you could see as you went through the desert or along the dusty streets was the next step. And you could say to God, all I am asking is for the light in this year to see the next step along my pathway to glory. I don't need to see the whole year. I need to see the new now. How am I relating to God, my creator, my source, my substance, my paymaster? It's not your job. God is the paymaster. How am I relating to this essence and this energy now? Is what I'm saying, is who I'm being, is what am I doing in this moment, glorifying the creator of my life and my substance? And so I want you to make a commitment, my friends, today to work on your personal, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual growth, your relationship in 2022 to God. And you know that if there are areas that you need healing in, your first assignment in preparation for our New Year's workshop tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock is to take a little quiet time today, maybe after the rice and peas and chicken. Spend a little time by yourself. Ask the family just to give you an hour of me time. And look at what habits you have that maybe, just maybe, are not working for you any longer. What habits, what habitual ways of being, of speaking, of thinking, and of acting no longer serve you? Where are you stuck in patterns that are no longer of service to you and that may be blocking your progress? And make a note of those for yourself today. Without judgment, just lovingly, where am I stuck? Where do I want to make a difference? And then perhaps tomorrow morning you will symbolically take a new route and say, hey, I've started to make a shift. I'm going to drive a different way to work this morning. I'm going to put on my foot in the right leg of my trousers instead of the left. I'm making a start. Just in simple ways, you know, in small, small ways, you can make that shift, that paradigm shift, which is so powerful. You'll be amazed to know the difference it can make. And so, that is your first assignment, should you decide to undertake it. Just review your life and look at where you have patterns that no longer serve you. I'm going to give you the big frog to swallow, which is the second part of your assignment. My friends, the biggest block, we don't know how to say it except for say it. The biggest block to your closer walk with God, the biggest block to your relationship with the Almighty is unforgiveness. Unforgiveness and resentment clog the conduit that allows the free flow of God's substance to you, into your life and affairs, and from you out into the world to bless it and to make it a place that works for all. And you know, for years when I came to the New Year's workshop and Reverend Elmer Lumsden, our founding minister, gave this exercise, every year I forgive somebody. The same somebody, you know. Every year I forgive them. And one year, it was the first year that I had to conduct the workshop myself, I said to myself, as we say in Jamaica, I've been doing it wrong. Rotted. It's me that need the forgiveness. All these years I've been thinking it's the person that offended me that needed the forgiveness. It's me. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my father, not my mother, not my sister, not my brother, me. You know why? I needed to forgive myself for allowing myself to be hurt by someone who is my brother or my sister. So the second part of your assignment is to look at where you need to forgive yourself so that you can begin anew to make all things right in 2022. And so just look, in addition to where your patterns, your stuck patterns are keeping you from progressing, look at where it is that you need to forgive you. You know, it's amazing, but Jesus, the Master, sure, he actually said, if you have aught against anyone, and that includes yourself, leave your gift at the altar. Don't want to give them no Christmas present or no birthday present. Leave it and go and be reconciled with that person. That is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself in this new year. You know, Ernest Holmes, the founder of our great teaching, writes in The Science of Mind, the textbook, and I want to quote him, "The mind which condemns understands not the truth of being, and the heart which would shut the door of its bosom to one who is mistaken strangles its own life." So if you have made a mistake and you have shut the door on yourself, you're strangling your own ability to move forward in greatness and in grace and in love and in joy into a new now. And you know, it might sound hard because sometimes we carry the burden of guilt. And guilt is the opposite of unforgiveness, you know. Guilt is the cry of a soul that requires forgiveness but hasn't received it. And so we need to do some forgiveness work. If there are people out there that have offended you, forgive them. But most of all, forgive yourself. Because it will just clear the block, straighten out the kink in the hose so that the universal substance can flow unimpeded into your life in this new way. And there's no way to escape the effects of this law, my friends. We have to consciously align ourselves with the higher cause of love in order to be able to move forward. You know, it's really interesting, but for most of us, the first thing that occurs to us is, you don't know what the person did me. It's hard to let it go. I was doing a workshop talking about the matter of forgiveness in a conflict management workshop years and years ago. I wasn't yet a minister, but I was coming to this church. And there was a woman in the workshop who, she remained silent for the entire day. And just before closing time, she just erupted unexpectedly. I mean, the whole group of us were in shock because she hadn't said a word. Very quiet soul. She said, "You can talk about forgiveness all you want, but it's because nobody ever do you what my brother do me." And it was said with such passion that I assumed that it had happened recently in her life. So I gently and lovingly said, you know, if you want to share, this is a safe place. You know what it turned out to be? her twin brother had told a lie on her to her parents when they were teenagers. And she at that time was in her late 30s, so it had to be at least 15 years that she was carrying this burden of unforgiveness. She said, you're true, don't know him not. Him never only tell the lie, you know. Him write it in a letter, and with tears streaming down her face, she delved into the depths of her handbag and produced a yellow, creased exercise book leaf. Remember exercise book? Exercise book leaf on which her twin brother, Pickney Senting, you know, had written an untruth about her. She said, see ya, till this day I have it. I said, no, darling, till this day it have you. For you have carried that burden. So we're going to clean it up today if you're ready. To make matters worse, the brother had passed on to fresh fields and pastures new. In his father's green pastures, he was not on this plane of activity any longer. But fortunately, her soul so yearned for the healing, and she was open enough to this that she followed my advice, and we went out of the hotel training room where we were out onto the terrace in the open air, and we put this piece of exercise book leaf with maybe 5 lines on it in an ashtray, and we lit it. And as the smoke made its way up into the sky, the lines on her face visibly disappeared. I lie not to you. At the end of it, she looked a good 10 years younger. That is the power of forgiveness, my friends. And for the first time, she shared next day, she went home and was able to speak civilly to the rest of her family. She said, I had a healing today. Then say, you went to revival? She said, no, I went to John Scott. She didn't come to me. She came to the spirit of love that is in all of us and that is beckoning to us to forgive ourselves. Forgive us our trespasses. My God. As what? As we forgive those who have offended us. We say it every day now, but we don't think about the impact of it. The forgiveness principle is the key to your oneness with God. Ernest Holmes expresses it this way in the Science of Mind textbook. He says, and I quote, a new light is coming into the world. We name Temple of Light, you know. A new light is coming into the world. We are on the borderline of a new experience. Can we say that together? We are on the borderline of a new experience. And I love this that Holmes says. I quote, the veil between spirit and matter is very thin. There's a very thin veil between the invisible, my friends, and this walk that we are doing. God is right here. God is immanent. God is right, closer than your breath, nearer than your hands and feet. That veil that separates us. You remember at the crucifixion, the story goes that at the hour that he gave up the spirit, the veil of the temple was rent in twain. And that veil in the temple of old represented the partition between the common people and the Holy of Holies that held the Ark of the Covenant, which was supposed to be the repository and the dwelling place of Yahweh, Almighty God. And so the rending of that veil, that thin veil, it's this gossamer, gauzy, beautiful fabric that separated the Holy of Holies from us, represented the coming down of that wall that we have built between ourselves and God the good, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and omniactive force that has control of our lives. There is a power for good. It is this God, we talk about it in this church. A power for good in the universe And not only can you use it, but it can use you to do great things in 2022. And so Holmes says a new science and a new religion and a new philosophy are rapidly being developed. Look in your email inboxes and go to where the Temple of Light has sent you the Strategic Plan 2030. A new light is coming into the world. A new philosophy, a new science, and a new religion is being developed. And we are doing it here at the Temple of Light. And you are going to be hearing in the coming weeks many, many different aspects of this strategic plan that is just there for you. There is something there for everyone in this community to get involved and to share so that you can help to build a new tomorrow that is worthy of this world that we all love and this life that we wish to live to the honor and glory of God. And so Holmes says, this is in line with the great presence and nothing can hinder its progress. The truth will out, he says. The Spirit will make itself known. Happy are we if we see these things, which from the foundation of the human race have been longed for by all aspiring minds. From the very beginning of time, human beings have longed for this closer association with God. And if you have that yearning in your soul this morning, I want you to know you have come to the right place. Because this is what we are going to be doing, not just today, but tomorrow evening at our New Year's workshop, and throughout the year as we work together, individually as well, because we have individual work to do, but also as a community, to create something that takes this teaching far beyond the shores of Jamaica, across the globe, because the world needs the science of mind and spirit. And we are going to have to join hands and hearts and consciousnesses and souls and sweat and love and all of our energy and focus it like a laser beam at the goals we wish to achieve in our lives individually and as a spiritual community. My friends, I'd like to end with the words of wisdom from a Hopi Indian chief named White Eagle, who was speaking on the current situation. He wrote it, I think, in the middle of last year. His words on the situation in which the world finds itself at this time. Listen up with your hearts. This moment humanity is experiencing can be seen as a door or a hole. The decision to fall in the hole or walk through the door is up to you. If you consume the news 24 hours a day with negative energy, constantly nervous with pessimism, you will fall into this hole. But if you take the opportunity to look at yourself, to rethink life and death, to take care of yourself and others, then you will walk through the portal. Take care of your home. Take care of your body. Connect with your spiritual home. And when you take care of yourself, you take care of everyone at the same time. Do not underestimate the spiritual dimension of this crisis. Take the perspective of an eagle that sees everything from above with a broader view. There is a social question in the crisis, but also a spiritual question, for the two go hand in hand. Without the social dimension, we fall into fanaticism. Without the spiritual dimension, we fall into pessimism and futility. Are you ready to face the crisis? Grab your toolbox and use all the tools at your disposal. Learn resistance from the example of Indian and African peoples. We have been and are exterminated, but we never stopped singing, dancing, lighting a fire, and rejoicing. Don't feel guilty for feeling blessed in these troubled times. Being sad or angry doesn't help at all. Resistance is resistance through joy. You have the right to be strong and positive. There's no other way to do it than to maintain a beautiful, happy, bright posture. This has nothing to do with alienation, ignorance of the world. It's a resistance strategy. So our resistance strategy is joy. He concludes, when we cross the threshold, we have a new worldview because we faced our fears and difficulties. So this is all you can do right now. Serenity in the storm. Keep calm and pray every day. Make a habit of meeting the sacred every day. Show resistance through joy, trust, and love. End of that quote from the Hopi Indian. And so, my friends, let us start anew this morning, this moment, with a higher, fairer creed. Put your hand in the hand of faith and trust, and walk with head held high into the dawn of this new year. Together, my friends, let us make all things new in 2022. Namaste.
Wow. Amen. Let us. Yes, our resistance strategy is the revelation of joy. And I just want to thank Reverend John for encouraging us to work on our relationship with God. He asked us to really spend some time today reflecting on this relationship. We can journal on it. And in this reflection, find out if there are anything that we need to release, if there are any areas of unforgiveness, and remember to forgive ourselves and to be reconciled with ourselves and with our brothers and sisters in consciousness. And like Reverend John, I'm making an appeal to you. If you know anyone out there who is not yet familiar with our teaching, and a friend of yours who is seeking to walk through the door, ask them to join us. They can join us online if the sanctuary cannot hold. They can always join us online. To join us to work with our strategic plan to make Jamaica and the world a place that works for all of us. And for those of you who are members, just reminding you that our membership fee is now due. And with that, we go to our musical item, which is Emily. And she will bring us musical joy this morning.
In the crushing, in the pressing, you are making new wine. In the soil I now surrender, you are breaking new ground. So I yield to you and to your careful hand. When I trust you, I don't need to understand. Make me your vessel, make me an offering, make me whatever you want me to be. I came here with nothing but all you have given me. Father, bring new wine out of me. You are breaking new ground. So make me your vessel, make me an offering, make me whatever you want me to be. Oh, I came here with nothing but all you have given me. Father, bring new wine out of me. Oh, Father, bring new wine out of me. 'Cause where there is new wine, there is new power, there is new freedom, and the kingdom is here. I lay down my old flames to carry your new fire today. So make me your vessel, make me an offering, make me whatever you want me to be. God, I came here with nothing but all you have given me. Father, bring new wine out of me. Father, bring new wine out of me.
Father,
bring new wine out of me. Wow. Thank you, Emily Ruth. Thank you, audience worldwide, for being the consciousness, for being the vessel into which God just poured that elixir of truth, the new wine in a new year. Thank you, Emily Ruth. Beautiful. And so if you have a birthday in January, if you're one of those Capricorns, stand up. January birthdays, please stand. If you're at home, stand. Put your hand on your heart and let us sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear loved ones. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. 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 Happy Earth Day to you. And as the Father makes new wine out of those born in the month of January, we speak this word to know that this is a year in which they have a closer relationship with the infinite invisible that created them out of itself in the image and likeness of its perfection, its wholeness, its holiness, its beauty, its love, its joy, that beheld them with eyes of ineffable love and said, boy, this good. This is very good. And so we know that goodness. We know for them that from the center of their being to the circumference of their conscious awareness, they live, move, and manifest their lives in a victorious state of fulfillment to the honor and glory of God. This is the truth. And we are so grateful that they have chosen to walk this path as a member of our spiritual community, to share their love, their light, and their joy with the world, so that they can continue in their new year to be a blessing to their fellow humans and a joy to their God. This word is released to law in the certain assurance that it must fulfill that whereunto it is sent. For in the crushing and in the pressing, God is making new wine, and God is glorified. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is. And so can you stand for me, everyone, for the prayer of Jamaica, which is in your program and on your screen. Together. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And my friends, we'll sing our second hymn, We Build a New Tomorrow. Again on your program and on the screen. We build a new tomorrow. We draw the pattern clear. We make our plans with wisdom,
our mind is ever here. Our thinking makes our future, our actions pave the way. We build a new tomorrow on patterns formed today. We clear the heart of hatred, we clear the mind of fear. We speak no word of censure of all we see or hear. With might to guide and guide us, with might to light the way. We build a new tomorrow on sights we clear today. Whatever things are lovely, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, we bring them into view. The cornerstone of heaven for guiding lines we lay. We build a new tomorrow with love and joy today. And so with love and joy, would you take your love offerings in your hands? And if you're at home and about to press the donate button, just say with us the blessing, lovingly, I give. Joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father. And so it is. And so in this consciousness we bless the gifts of time and talent and treasure and consciousness that have so beautified our morning and so enriched our lives at the beginning of this new year. Truly, we are making new wine, we're building a new tomorrow, and all is well because all is God. We truly give thanks that this is so, and so it is. And let us sing, Yes, There Is Peace. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be with God as our power. Family all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow, my vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it began with me. My friends, don't miss tomorrow evening at 6.
God is going to be making new wine through us as we set our intentions to make all things new in 2022. And then join me tomorrow morning and on Wednesdays and on Fridays at 6 a.m. at the crack of dawn to set our intention for the day in a quiet moment. And on Tuesday evening, we have Reverend Ann Shand, our assistant minister, at 6 p.m. with our spiritual mind healing service. There's so much happening in the new year. Be with us, be one with us, be one with God. God loves you and so do we. Namaste.